Sun Life is one of the world's top financial institutions. When Matthew Hamilton Gault received a charter for Sun Life Insurance Company of Montreal in 1865, few could foresee the fledgling company would grow to become a leading international financial services organization. What a difference a century and a half makes. Through 21 presidents, 2 world wars, countless economic dips, blips, and climbs, Sun Life Financial has stood strong, keeping its promise and delivering for its customers. Today, Sun Life Financial is an international success story. Their operations, subsidiaries, and joint ventures touch the lives of millions of people around the world. Interoperability and integration was an important consideration in choosing social software technology at Sun Life. How can they leverage the platform to bring together their spectrum of tools into a single experience? Sun Life also needed to make sure that as they made the investment in social software, they wanted to make sure that the people really used the technology. In some cases, changing the way they worked and ensuring employees were able to get great value. Here today with us, sharing with us their collaboration agenda, Sun Life's Head of Collaboration, Tom Anger.
Hello, my name is Thomas Anger. I know it's a bit ironic that a guy with a name like Anger is talking about collaboration, but that's my name. For that matter, my internal blog is called Anger Management. 2 to 3 years ago, Sun Life Financial began thinking about social software. Several factors triggered this thought process. Firstly, the labor pool had been changing. Today, young people practically interview companies to find out if they will have a voice in the company and if they will have access to the kind of social networking tools that they use in their private lives. It became clear that we needed to be technology progressive in order to attract and retain the best people. Secondly, our customer base has been changing. Gen Yers now outnumber boomers. They don't necessarily watch TV, listen to radio, or read printed materials. We need to reach them on the web. To keep growing, we will need to increasingly leverage media outlets that are new and evolving in our marketing campaigns. We have to have a true social presence. Thirdly, and the strongest driver, in order to compete in the new people-driven economy, Sun Life needed a way to make the most of all the knowledge and talent that is stored in the heads of our 16,000 people that are located globally. Collaboration is essential to our future. We have been collaborating for a long time via email, phone, voice, but we wanted to enable more extensive people-to-people connections and information sharing than we had in the past. We wanted to create an easier and more effective way for one person to locate another and connect with other people in the organization who have the skills and expertise that can help. We considered and ran multiple pilots and proofs of concepts with multiple vendors, including Microsoft, IBM, Atlassian, Jive, and open source products like Drupal. Because there is value in continuing to work with companies that we have an existing relationship with, Microsoft and IBM were both strong contenders. Both had large, skilled organizations that could support the solution that we chose. IBM had an edge in the development and integration of their product. Connections already existed, it had a user base, and we could touch it. Microsoft's SharePoint solution was less well defined. It didn't have all the same pieces integrated. It didn't have all the same pieces integrated in it, and we couldn't integrate it necessarily with third parties as easily. It was easier to see how we could scale a connections approach. Ultimately, however, we knew that our decision should be made on the basis of the technology's relevance to our business and its ability to provide a superior user experience. If the technology lacked a true business purpose, our enterprise wouldn't sufficiently benefit from it. Without an easy-to-use and cohesive user experience, we knew we would never achieve the levels of usage and adoption that we wanted. I think you can appreciate that in the financial and insurance sector, we have a very risk-averse culture, and as a result, needed to be very analytical and carefully test all of our options. So we piloted for about a year and did a cost-benefit and business analysis. Even more important, we listened to user feedback. The result of all this was this investigation was a strategic decision to integrate several solutions. We use Connections to provide social networking capabilities. We use Atlassian's Wiki product to provide wiki capabilities, Microsoft Windows SharePoint services to provide document management capabilities. More specifically, in April 2009, we moved forward and went into production with Connections 2.0, Confluence, and Microsoft SharePoint. We're now using Connections 2.0.1 and looking forward to migrating to Connections 2.5 early in 2010. We started our internal launch of Connections with 300 plus people who we identified from pilots and champions and early adopters. Since then, we've held sessions with multiple business areas to help us understand their business challenges and to educate them on Web 2.0, collaboration, social media, and how these various capabilities could integrate into their day-to-day work. In sessions with users, we point out that a focus on email alone can limit you to collaborating just with the people you know or those that are organizationally closest to you. By augmenting email with collaboration tools such as Connections, Wiki, and document management, users are able to connect with and leverage and share the knowledge of people they have not interacted with before. Our users get that. Through these sessions, we are already seeing results. We've grown to over 2,000 users of our suite of collaboration services, which is good, but ultimately we want to get to all 16,000 of our staff and have them all benefiting from these tools. As we all know, the value of collaboration grows as you increase the size of your user community. We have some cultural issues around governance, security, and privacy. Our staff is using blogs and wikis to share information more widely than ever before. There's a lot more transparency when opinions and content are out there for everyone to see. And this makes some people at our company nervous. It's a situation that will require more discussion, more education, and perhaps revising some of our social media guidelines, policies, and procedures. We now have examples of stories of information sharing between people who didn't even know each other existed a year ago. That's a great success for Sun Life. And the new people-to-people connections are starting to deliver benefits like increased collaboration, less reinventing of the wheel, and greater speed to market of products. In the spirit of collaboration, which is what this is all about, perhaps those of you who are just starting to consider social software can benefit from what we've learned at Sun Life. Firstly, focus on how your people will use the software. Help them understand how they can integrate social computing into their day-to-day working lives. They need to have the sense, or they need to understand that you are putting their requirements first. This needs to be business-driven and can't be seen as an IT-only initiative. Secondly, executive sponsorship is key. Enough said. Thirdly, given how fast social collaboration technology is progressing, you need to get started now. You need to identify your pilot groups, secure sponsorship, put the tools out there, and get the user feedback. You need to respond to the feedback. You will need to be agile, and you need to experiment with these new capabilities and services. Our experience at Sun Life Financial shows that experiments with social collaboration will pay off. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, for sharing Sun Life's game plan for collaboration and the value your team is deriving.